Emeritus Professor before serving as a Vice Chancellor of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar from 2011 to 2014. He has successfully guided 14 PhD scholars and published more than 160 research papers, was a coordinator of 2 World Bank projects, successfully completed several research projects, sponsored DOE, DRDO, CSIR, AICT, DST awards. He has also got Best Teacher Award from Government of Andhra Pradesh, Sir Vishwarya Award from Institute of Engineering, Anna University National Award from ISTE, 3 awards from IETE, Delhi, also including Ramanan Vadva Gold Medal. He continues to teach ECE Osmania University even at the age of 75 and has a unique distinction of teaching at Osmania University for 4 decades. He is a Popo writer in Marathi with 32 books to his credit. He has trained thousands of scientists, engineers, faculty members in radars and communication engineering by organizing workshops and short intensive courses. He served as a head dean at Osmania University and was the first director of VNIT. So on behalf of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, I welcome Dr. Vijay Pandharipande sir, and I would now hand over the session to him.
I am audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir. You are audible.
Okay. So, thank you, Dr. Rafi, for introduction. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm really happy to be with you this afternoon for this faculty development program. As I understand that central government and University Grants Commission is now training the faculty for this awareness program on so-called NEP. As I always say, this word NEP, there is some confusion about this word. Some people called it N as new education policy, and some people call it as a national education policy. So for somebody, N is a new, and for somebody, N is national. But fortunately and unfortunately, both these things are not true. The fact is, as on today, it is not so-called new education policy, because many factors or many items which are described in these universities, in this policy, were being implemented in many institutions of higher learning 3-4 decades back also. Of course, I can give examples also, but let us not waste in time, but especially in the institute which I have learned and the education which I have got from either from VRC Nagpur or at IIT Kharagpur. All these, most of the 70-80% of these items which are described here, they were implemented in 70s and 80s, as old as. So that way there is hardly anything new so-called. And when you call it as a national, as it stands today, it is not national because many states are not implementing it at all. They are not even looking at this. They are not even thinking of implementing it maybe next 2 years or so. I do not know. Whether it is political reasons or whatever, but they are not implemented, especially in the South. The state from which I am coming or I am giving this lecture, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, or Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, this policy is not at all talked of. So that way it is not also national. Anyway, this is not a very important issue. What we have to deal is, what is a good education? That's first thing, because when you start something new, education policy, we have to think that there is something wrong with what we were doing. First of all, we have to ask. I think it would be better that each one of you ask question yourself that is everything right with me as a faculty member, or is everything right with my department in which I am working? Is everything right with the college where I am appointed? And is everything perfect with the university I am affiliated to? So if you ask this question, and if the answer is yes, then of course there is no need of the lecture, there is no need of discussion. But if the answer is no, that no, something is wrong somewhere, then we have to ask next question, what is wrong? What is wrong? And where it is wrong? And how you can correct it. I think if you self-examine these aspects, each and every person, whether you are a faculty member or head of the department or a principal of the college or vice chancellor of the university, if these questions are asked ourselves and try, if we ourselves find the answer, then in my opinion, there is no need of such workshops or trainings or somebody else like me preaching you or teaching you. Not required. Anyway, let me clarify some few points in the beginning itself, that whatever statements I am making or whatever suggestions I am giving, I do not claim that this is the last word or this is how it has to be done. No. The reason being, for everything there is an alternative. For everything there is a second opinion. So I never claim, or I will never say that whatever I am saying, you must totally 100% agree to it. You can have questions, you can have discussion. And as I informed the coordinator, I would prefer this session to be more interactive, in the sense, more question answer type sessions rather than one way traffic that only I am talking and you are listening. As a matter of fact, this way of one way traffic neither is helpful for the students as in our classroom also, nor for the lectures like this in the faculty development program. So at any stage, if you have a question or a doubt, you can stop me and raise your hands, and coordinator will help you asking questions, and we'll be happy to discuss those things.
I have given the permission to unmute, so they can unmute directly now.
Yeah, fair. Okay, that's fine. So please remember that would be, I will be very happy that instead of a one-way traffic, let it be a very brainstorming discussion. Then only it will be useful to both of you. So regarding educational policy or regarding your teaching learning process or regarding the examination or evaluation system, any doubt you have, you can raise it. Let me start with a yeah.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. I'm Poonam Bhoyer. I have a question, sir, on what you have, just said. You said that there are many institutes or universities in the South who have not yet started implementing the NEP policy. And what I have understood through whatever I have read till now is that the students have the liberty to earn their credits, depending on from which institution, which subject they want to take up. So I mean, if not everybody not implementing the NEP policy, how is it going to evolve? Like we were expecting that if everybody is implementing slowly, students will opt it. Yeah.
Your doubt is genuine, but that is the fact. We can't do anything. For example, I'm telling you, I just now gave you Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, West Bengal, Kerala. I mean, you can understand the name from the name of the state why they are not implementing. I think it is very clear. So these are political issues. They have nothing to do with academic thing. And suppose now In Maharashtra, new education policy is being implemented. If a graduate from Maharashtra, after 4 years or 5 years, goes to Telangana or West Bengal for higher education, what will happen? I tell you, unfortunately, we don't have an answer. But it doesn't matter. The reason being, at every institute, they have their own ways of admissions, evaluation process, admission process. So somehow, somewhere the other, you will get the answer. Because, for example, our students are going abroad. Our education is different, their education is different, but they have their own ways of evaluating the students, and based on their evaluation, they admit it. So your question is genuine, and for which, unfortunately, there is no ready-made answer. Now, coming back to our this thing, let me start with a small story. What happened at the end of the Second World War? You know, there was a lot of destructions and a lot of killings. At the end of this war, there was a letter found in one concentration camp. And this letter, some soldier or somebody in that concentration camp has written. The letter is addressed to the teacher. The letter says, "Dear teachers, I am survivor of concentration camp. My eyes saw that no man should witness. Whatever I have seen in this concentration camp, what I have seen, it is so horrible, nobody should witness. Gas chambers built by learned engineers, children poisoned by educated physicians, infants killed by trained nurses, women and babies shot and burned by high school and college graduates. So, I am suspicious of education. My request is, help your students become human. Your efforts must never produce learned monsters, skilled psychopaths, educated illiterates. Reading, writing, arithmetic are important only if they serve towards making our children more human." So this is a very eye-opener letter written by somebody to the teacher. Same thing happened. There is another small story about King Sikandar. You know that he is called Jagat Jeta or World Conqueror Sikandar. So when soldiers and commanders informed this king Sikandar that, "Sir, we have destroyed enemy, we have destroyed the cities, we have killed many people, we have got a lot of wealth and a lot of money, a lot of currency, but we have left the city library in that enemy's thing as it is. We have not touched the city library." When they informed this to the Sikandar, do you know, the Sikandar, instead of praising them for the destruction, praising them for the victory, he shouted at them and said, "First go and destroy the library, because library is the place of knowledge. Unless you destroy the knowledge, it is not, you cannot say that we have conquered them. So please, now imagine this was the importance of the library envisaged by Sikandar. And today, what is the situation of the libraries in our universities or colleges? Nobody visits. In my opinion, I have seen, I mean, this I am saying from my personal experience. Whenever we go for academic audit and look out at the libraries of the colleges, the attendance is very thin. Those who are there, they are there for preparing for competitive examinations, etc. But they are not there for learning, for searching research journals, for searching knowledge, for searching new ideas. They are not there, or searching new references. They are not there. How many faculty members visit library? I have my own doubts. Even now, Use of textbooks also have gone. Whenever in the interview, I ask the student or a lecturer who comes for an interview, which textbook you have used for this subject? You will be surprised. They do not know the name of the textbook. They do not know, forget about the name of the authors of the textbook. This is the situation. Now we have to ask why this situation has come. Now, another question. You ask any person who is of the age of 60, 70, 80, like that, in your house, in your society. Ask anybody who is so-called senior citizen about quality of education. All 100% the answer would be, in our time, quality of education was much better than as on today. Now, when you say that, every government, or whether it is state government or central government, or every vice chancellor or every person, director of the institute claims, we have made a lot of progress in the last 50 years or 60 years. What is the meaning of progress? When everybody is saying, admitting that quality of education is going down, is not as it was in 60s, 70s, 50s. What is the reason? Then where is the progress? Does it mean that computers have come? This is the progress. Does it mean that internet is there? This is the progress. Does it mean that we are producing thousands of PhDs everywhere in every university? That is the progress. The number of IITs and NITs have increased. Is it the progress? When we are claiming that quality of education has gone down, then the question is, what has improved? Quantity has increased. Only quantity has increased. Number of schools, and that is obvious. Once upon a time, we were 40 crores. Now we are 140 crores. So obviously, number of colleges required, number of universities required. That expansion is a must. But when we were expanding in that line, and another thing is, we have also privatized education also. We have privatized education. Schools are privatized, colleges are privatized, universities are privatized. So, and another thing is, because of privatization, has the quality improved? No. Everybody will say, or everybody will admit that as far as our country is concerned, the privatization was nothing but marketing. It was just business. School and education has become business. And that all of you, I'm sure, in heart of your heart will agree with. Okay. Having said this as an introductory part, let us raise few more points which we can ask ourselves. And that is research in higher education. The question which I would like to raise is PhD required for a good teacher? Is PhD degree must as an essential qualification for a good teacher? If you ask me personally, the answer is absolutely no. It is not required. PhD does not make a good teacher. Just that degree, just holding that degree, instead of a Mr. or Mrs., you are Dr. somebody or Dr. somebody, that doesn't make you a good teacher. And that I am sure you also must be experiencing, because day by day, the quality of PhDs in the universities has gone down like a thing. Even just a couple of days back, the earlier Atomic Energy Director, BRC Director, Dr. Kakodkar, he was delivering a lecture somewhere, and he said that the quality of research in the universities or higher institutions is simply horrible. And it is true. I can tell you, you ask yourself today, those teachers who are PhDs in this group, you ask tonight before going to sleep, you ask yourself that I have done PhD, but who has used my research work? Which higher institution, which organization, which government which society has used my research work? Have I added a new, or have I created a new knowledge through my thesis? Or has anybody's life improved because of my research work? Ask this question and you will get the answer. The same thing is with the quality of publications, which is attached with the so-called PhD thesis. That is also has gone down. I mean, it has gone down to such an extent that every alternate day, I receive an email that asking me to submit papers. They say, you send it today and you publish tomorrow. Yes, you send a paper on Saturday and Monday it gets published with no review, nothing, and it is getting published with mistakes. Whatever mistakes you have committed in that writing, or whatever mistakes, technical, non-technical, typo, are there, as it is, they publish it. And this is really horrible. This is really horrible. So I remember to tell you, when you talk about what changes have happened in our time. Yes, internet was not there, fast mail was not there. To get a published in international journal in United States, it used to take 8 to 9 months from the day I dispatched my paper to that.
दम बिम सब कम हो जाएगा।
डॉक्टर तेजस भोसले, 3 बार आपका माइक म्यूट कर चुका हूं मैं अभी तक। डॉक्टर तेजस।
हाँ सर।
तीसरी बार आपका माइक म्यूट कर रहा हूं सर, मैं वो ही नहीं कर सकता हूं मैं बैठकर यहाँ।
एक मिनट, अरे सॉरी सर।
Yes, sir, you can continue.
Okay, so I'm just to tell you what changes have happened in the last thing. Because it used to, we had to send it to United States, and that time IIT was not allowing this postage, etc. So we had to send on our own. So the paper used to be sent by sea mail, not even air mail. And you can imagine it used to take 1 or 2 months to reach the editor. Then they will send it to 3 reviewers, 3. And these 3 reviewers will give their comments. And after that, those comments will come to us again by mail, no internet, nothing. And invariably, the paper has to be revised. I mean, no paper will get accepted as it is. So revision, again, you send it by CML. I have seen that not a single paper used to get published less than 8 to 9 months it used to. Now, because of internet, because of email, all that time has got reduced. Yes, technology has helped in this regard. That time has reduced. Now you have access to any textbook. See, in our time, latest journals were not available immediately. The latest references were not available immediately. The Xeroxing was just started. I mean, the copying, etc., copier, etc., have just come. It was very costly. Even for a normal student, it was not easy to get, Xeroxing done because it was very costly. So what I want to say, yes, on this ground, whatever reference you want, you get it immediately. But even sending correspondence time has reduced. You have access to all international, national references. So these advantages are there. But anyway, in spite of this, things are, as far as the quality is concerned, I have my own doubts about the thing. Now, let us, after talking about these 2-3 important issues, let us say what is wrong with this whole system. The first thing which I consider is we are only teaching. There is no way to check whether learning is there or not. I repeat, there is only teaching. We prepare a syllabus for what? Teaching. We conduct an examination to examine what? Not what students have learned, what you have taught. You are examining only those things which you have taught. not what student has learned. If you would have examined the students on those aspects, what student has learned, you would have conducted a separate examination for every student. Of course, that is not possible. I mean, physically not possible. I agree. System, and that is even. Let me tell you one thing. You imagine the way in which a convent or a private school education is being run in our country. In my opinion, all aspects are there at school level. For example, they grade the students, they don't give marks. Then there is a continuous assessment. If you have your son or a daughter studying in convent school, his teacher, madam, she conducts unit test every 15 days or every month. So there is a continuous evaluation. And the teacher herself sets the paper. She will only examine it and give grades. And imagine, I am sure you never question that teacher about grades given. You never question. Whereas in university, lot of students will come to the examination branch in Morcha and they will ask that our papers were not evaluated properly. First evaluation, second evaluation, moderation, what not. Now the question is, you ask yourself, the system which is beautifully running in private schools, or maybe in government schools also, to some extent, in some government schools, yes, some government schools are good, about continuous evaluation, the evaluation by teacher only, why it fails at college level? Same thing is true with the attendance also. All of you, I'm sure you have a complaint. Students are not attending the classes. Yes, this is a general complaint. Ask yourself, what is the reason? The same student, when he was in the school, he was attending the classes. What has happened after he has taken admission at graduate level or postgraduate level? What went wrong? I'm sure something wrong was with the atmosphere in the college, discipline of the college, discipline of the teacher, or teaching of the teacher. There is absolutely no point in blaming the students. Something is wrong with the system. Something is wrong with the teacher. Are you creating a situation that unless the students attend all classes, he cannot write the examination? Cannot write. Impossible. At least even that 75% of attendance also you are not following. I know. It is only on paper. So you make a rule, but break a rule also. And of course, I am sure you will blame, no, it is not my fault. It is the fault of principal. It is the fault of management. It is the fault of vice chancellor. Yes, we are expert on blaming. But let us examine ourselves. Are we doing our duty properly? So if the emphasis has to be on learning rather than teaching, what does it mean? Let us try to understand the meaning of this phrase, that there has to be more learning than teaching. What do we do at present? I come to the class at 10 o'clock and start talking, and I do not stop till 11 o'clock, until the bell rings. I keep on talking. I keep on writing something on the board. I am not bothered whether it is assimilated or not. I am not bothered whether students are following or not. I am not bothered whether students are taking notes or not. Nothing. There is no discussion. We are not questioning. We are not encouraging for doubts. In fact, the meaning of learning starts with I do not know. It starts with I do not know. And I do not know is a great possibility. Even till today, even after so much experience, I can admit that there are many things which I do not know. At the age of 75, now I have realized that if I would have known this earlier, I would have taught this topic beautifully. Another very interesting aspects I will tell you about teaching and learning. Even without knowing any technical knowledge, mind you, even without knowing any technical knowledge, we are learning, we are using those physical principles, mathematical equations, and go ahead with the use of the applications. I'll give an example. Every day you are using freeze refrigerator in your house. How many of us know how it operates? We are not bothered how it operates. We are only interested how it is used. That's all. I'm not bothered what is the mechanism of cooling, etc. Same thing is with our television. We do not know how the signals are coming, how they, the so-called electromagnetic wave or whatever wave it travels in the air and it reaches to your home through that small cable, and beautiful picture without any distortion. You see it on the TV. You do not, and that too instantaneously. I mean, without any gap. It is going on live. Everything, many things are live. News is live. Cricket match is live. You see how it is done. We do not know. I'll give another example. When a 8-year boy or 6-7 years boy is learning a bike, you keep that picture in front of your eyes. Your son or a daughter, 8 or 9 years boy, he is learning a bike. Remember, learning a bike needs the knowledge of all three laws of Newton's. You should know what is velocity. You should know what is acceleration. You should know what is centrifugal force. You should know what is centripetal force. So many things you have to know. How velocity changes. With velocity, what will happen to the balance? All this knowledge is required. Do you mean to say that 8 or 9 years boy who is learning a bike knows all these things? No. But please remember, unless and until he follows all these laws, all these principles of motion, he cannot learn the bike. He has not gone to school. He has not gone to the physics class or a mathematics class. But still, velocity, acceleration, force, everything he is able to do it automatically in the tank. This will open your eyes and say, I'll give another example. A illiterate boy repairs, something is wrong with your scooter. In spark plug or something has gone. You go to a shop or puncture shop or something. There is a boy who has never gone to school or a college, but within no time he repairs your scooter. Or something wrong with your mobile. You go to a shop. That fellow is not at all an electronics engineer, but still within no time he repairs your mobile. This also can raise a question. Is degree, knowledge required for survival? What is the purpose of education then? This question is very important. Because if, another example, language learning. You know that boys and girls, they are learning whether your English language or your mother tongue without any grammar in our house. They just listen to you, they follow you, they copy you. They do not make even a mistake of a gender. They do not make a mistake of grammar. They start making mistakes only when they are taught grammar. Is it not? They start making mistakes only when they are taught grammar. When they are not taught grammar, they do not make any mistakes. A 4-year boy or a 5-year girl, fluent English she speaks. Yes, she may not be able to write it. I mean, she doesn't know ABCD. But as far as speaking is concerned, fluent. So this is a thought-provoking idea to ask ourselves, what do we mean by teaching? What do we mean by learning? This is a very important thing. So I have placed before you few points that another thing is about evaluation system. Because when we say, what are we evaluating? We have to evaluate whether student has followed or not. Yeah, we have to evaluate whether student has followed or not what I have taught or whatever is given in the textbook. Are we examining that? No, we are not examining. Unfortunately, we are not finding, when you evaluate an answer, you do not find what he has learned. What you find? Where he has committed a mistake, where I can deduct the marks. That is our eyes are looking for mistakes. Our eyes are not looking for what he has learned. So that is the reason that you will find that a person with 80%, 90%, they flop in the interviews. I have seen many people, when we interview them, graduate engineers or graduate for teachers, basic concepts they are not able to tell. But as far as their qualification is concerned, they have all A grades, 80%, 90%, 100 out of 100 in statistics, 100 out of 100 in mathematics. But you ask a simple question, he doesn't know. You ask him, can you tell me how area of circle is pi r square? He doesn't know. Can you prove it? That yes, area of circle is pi r square. Where from this pi has come? You ask, no answer. Nobody knows the concept of pi. Nobody knows many things. So, unless you emphasize on learning rather than teaching, situation will not change. For that, your process of, you see, another thing is I have found, we keep on blaming our syllabus. We say, what can I do? Board of Studies has prepared a syllabus. I agree. Board of Studies had made syllabus, but Board of Studies or that dean does not dictate how to teach. How to teach is in our hand. Nobody will interfere with your class. Nobody will question, why are you teaching like this and why are you not teaching like this? No. You are king in your class. Methodology of teaching is in your hand. Innovation in teaching is in your hand. Innovation in questioning or exam system is in your hand. At least when you have internal assessment. Yes, university examination, you can't change, I agree. But internal assessment is in your hand, and that can change many things. So let us first try to change those things which are in our hand. When we talk about the so-called quality of education and things like that, what is the meaning of quality? We set some goals, we set some objectives, and say, and we have certain resources. We have certain resources, and we have to fill those goals. We have to live with those standards with the resources available. Quality of student is not in my hand. Quality of faculty is not in the hand of the college. They have, once they appoint, they have to live with the teacher. Suppose some teacher comes, joins, and you find that the teacher is not good fit for teaching, you cannot remove. These are the difficulties. We have to, there are certain things which are beyond our control. See, for example, when this accreditation team comes, they talk about student faculty ratio, 1:12 or 1:15 and other things. Do you mean to say that the student to faculty ratio, if it is reduced, the quality of teaching will improve? Are you aware that even today, in fact, it was not there in our time. In 1780s, this situation was not there. But today, even the higher institutes like IIT, the class consists of 200 to 300 students. One teacher with loudspeaker and with all PA system and screens, etc. And class is of 200 to 300 students. Where is the student to teacher ratio? It is a fact. It is a fact. 200 students class, especially first year classes are like that. And even some classes at second year level, third year also, 80, 90, 100 like that. So there is no one-to-one dialogue. Yes, in tutorials, etc., they may subdivide, etc. But still, that ratio is not fulfilled, even by the thing. In government colleges and other things, the recruitment is not in the hands of the principal. It is dictated by government. You need a permission. So when that member of the team comes for accreditation and they claim in a government college, private college at least they have a free hand to appoint the teachers, etc. But in government college, it is not. Even government college, the principals, they transfer. In some government college, I have seen the principal is transferred after 6 months or 1 year at their will, whims and whimsies of the government. So when things are not in your hand, an accreditation team comes and says, no, you don't have teachers. Is it the fault of the principal or that college? It's not that they are not at fault. It's you have to question the government why they did not give permission. I can tell you, university in which I have studied, I am teaching since last 3 to 4 decades. There has not been any recruitment at associate professor and professor's levels since last 2 decades. New posts are not, new advertisement has not come at higher level. Associate, because of some compulsion at lecturer level, assistant professor level, they recruit. But at higher level, no recruitments. And same is the situation with institutions like IITs. 60 to 70% vacancies are there in IITs. Teachers not appointed. So these things are not in our. All these things together, they determine your quality. They determine your standard. They determine your output. See, after all, every system is an input-output system. So there is some input and you are expecting some output. You have to satisfy somebody with that output. But who is that somebody? Student in terms of quality, good job. You have to satisfy his parents that yes, I admitted my boy or a girl in this college. He has come with good rank or good job. You have to satisfy society. You have to satisfy employees, those who are employing, that we are producing good graduates. Another question comes. Everybody feels now, the training and placement business. There is always a criticism, open criticism. All industries and the organizations, they say that today's graduate is not employable. Quality of the graduates produced by university is very poor. They are not employable. They are not fit for job. My question is it the responsibility of university to give you a ready-made employee who will be fit for your job? Then I would like to question, from whom should I produce the graduate? Should I produce a graduate for Infosys? Should I produce a graduate for Kirloskar Oils? Should I produce a graduate for Larsen & Toubro? Should I produce a graduate for Google? Should I produce a graduate for insurance company or a finance company? Or should I produce a graduate for estate manager or a event manager or a hotel industry? For whom should I produce? And is it possible that, because choosing a job is totally a freedom given to the candidate. Even I teach him 100 things as a part of my undergraduate or a postgraduate teaching. You know that. Do you know the fact that whatever syllabus we are teaching at undergraduate or postgraduate level, 80 to 90% or more are not at all using that knowledge anywhere in whole life. This is the fact. Whatever you are teaching as a syllabus at UG or PG level, 90% of the students or more, except those who go for teaching, yes, those who go for teaching, they use it. Those who go for research or they become scientists, they may use it, but that number is very small compared to the 100 or huge number which is coming out of universities. The people who are going for higher education or research, PhD and teaching, that number is very small. So maximum students are absolutely not using. Of course, that doesn't mean that the knowledge they gained was useless. Absolutely not. It is useful, but they are not using it. What they have to do, they have to learn again. To learn to again, this may be useful. They have to learn two things. If you want to prepare an employee for 21st century, the first requirement is to teach him to learn on his own. I repeat, if you are preparing a graduate for 21st century, you teach him to learn on his own. Then only the situation should be such that if this fellow is thrown in a in sea or in a well or in a river, he should be able to swim on his own. He cannot say, "Sir, I do not know this." Boss will immediately say, "Forget it. If you do not know, learn and report tomorrow." That is the situation today. The problems which are coming are complex. The problems which the student will face as an employee are becoming more and more complex. And the challenge is to find a simple solution for that complex problem. Not only simple solution, economic solution. Economy is very important. Budget is very important. You may give a solution, you may give a proposal, you may give a design, but if that design is costly, needs a lot of funding, then your proposal, your design will be rejected. Will be rejected. Nobody wants a costly solution. So, what is the challenge for 21st century? To prepare a graduate student who can solve or who can find simple economic solution on his own for complex problems. That is the thing. Technology is at your help. See, in our days, we used to rectify those tables, 20 table, 19 table, 15 table. Now those tables are not required. Computer is there to for multiplication. So tables have gone. We have used, those of you who are using, who are in science and mathematics, etc. We are using log tables. We are using trigonometrical tables. Even in examination, I remember they used to provide log tables and trigonometrical tables, etc. Now, nothing is required. They are all available on the internet. They are available on your fingertips on the mobile. Anything you want to have, see, a subject like history. Why should I remember when this Second World War was held, why should I remember that year? Why should I remember when particular war was fought or won? Memory is not to be tested. Memory is not to be tested. We test what have we learned, why people lost the war, why people won the war, why war started in the beginning itself. That analysis is more important than in which year the war happened. That is not important. But unfortunately, we are testing in a wrong direction. So these are certain issues which I feel you have to look into and you have to think twice before we talk about the quality, we talk about the accreditation, we talk about the so-called education policy, etc., etc. So I think I have talked about 45 minutes approximately. So we will take small few questions answer sessions, and then again I will tell some more important points. Whatever topics or whatever points I discussed, if you have any doubts, questions, you don't agree, yes, even if you don't agree, you please be frank. You can raise your doubts and we will discuss for 15-20 minutes and then start with a new topic. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Please.
Yes, Dr. Digambar Puri here.
Please.
Sir, in the education system nowadays, the management is forcing people to enroll for the PhDs and they are expecting the good journal papers. Means the teacher has to more focus on the journal papers and they're less focus on the education, on the teaching and learning.
Yeah.
So this is the issue. So how to tackle with this issue, and lot of clerical work has been increased on the assistant professors and professors due to this NAC and NBA. So this is the problem the teachers are facing.
No, I think, let me tell you very frankly, your question that lot of work is there, that I absolutely do not agree. In fact, I personally feel that teaching profession is the profession where person has more time compared to any other IT industry, or you look at the person who is slogging in the IT industry, even at 9 o'clock in the night. See, as a teacher, if I go to the class, my department at 10 o'clock and leave the department at 5 o'clock, at 6 o'clock, even if there is a fire in the department, I'm not responsible. But same thing is not true for the IT industry. Even at after dinner, he has to sit and talk with somebody who is in the USA or something. So the fact that we are overloaded, that I do not agree. If you do time management, you have enough time to do anything, whether you want to do research, whether you want to do teaching, etc. I'm not boosting myself, but let me tell you, as a professor since 1983 till my retirement, I have taken a load of a lecturer, 23 periods per week. Can you imagine? Even when I was the head of the department, even when I was the chairman board of studies, even when I was the dean faculty of engineering, I never asked for any concession as far as teaching load is concerned. So teaching, first of all, calling teaching as a load itself is a crime. Teaching is not a load. That word load should be removed from the dictionary of education system. It is not a load. It is an enjoyment. Second thing, you are talking about NAC preparation, a lot of clerical work is there. Why do you call it clerical? See, if every teacher, now you have all computerized, see, at least now nothing is to be documented in a register or this thing. Everything can be computerized. If every teacher computerizes, puts his record, where you have gone for conference, how many papers you have published, which conference you attended, where you gave lectures. And if these things are put as a cut and paste business, why do you need extra work? Tell me. The fact is, we are not doing our work. See, suppose you went somewhere for conference and presented a paper. Immediately after coming, you write a title of the paper, where you have gone, duration of the conference, how many participants were there, etc., and email it to your head of the department. Head of the department will email it to the principal. Why do you need that record at the time of NAC or something? The reason is we are not managed properly inside. And that's why when the NAC comes, we want to whitewash everything, including ourselves. We are not only whitewashing buildings, etc. We are also whitewashing ourselves by creating some data which was not there. See, what is whitewashing? Whitewashing is to show what we are not. Is it not? So same thing happens. So, my dear fellow, there is no problem about, don't call it as a clerical work. Invigilation, is it a clerical work? Evaluating answer script, is it a clerical work? No, it is a duty. You are doing it in your normal working hours. Why we call it? Okay, so this is not the thing. And as far as the research is concerned, my solution, which I always say, that management, the policy makers should change their attitude. That already, I think, for lecturers post or somebody, UGC has made PhD is not compulsory, etc., etc. Okay, so I have seen many teachers who were not PhD, but they were excellent teachers. Excellent teachers. So PhD is not at all a qualification for a good teacher. Research publication is not the parameter for a good teacher, in my opinion. Next. Have I satisfied? Next.
Sir,
Come
I
on,
have
come
a
on.
question.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. So,
Loud.
yes, sir. So you, through this session, you have shown us,
You
how.
please tell your name and your department so that I will know.
I am Poonam Bhoyar, sir, from Indira Institute, Pune. I teach in the MBA department.
Okay,
So,
MBA. Okay.
yes, sir.
Oh.
So my question to you is, like you have, focused on how learning was not happening, the way it should have been in the current system. So do you,
not happening. It is still not happening. Not was.
Right,
It is
right.
not happening.
Right. So my question to you is, I mean, will it happen in NEP, and how we can bring it under NEP, because that's what I feel you are taking us towards. This session is going towards, like, how NEP is going to help us to bring in the learning which is not currently happening.
See, learning, etc. You don't link it with NEP. Let me tell you, don't link it with NEP. NEP is a simple, some things they have put it on paper. You were already doing. That's what I always say. You were teaching, you were taking examination, you were giving grades, everything you was doing. But now they say, do it systematically. Shall I give you an example? Because since you are a lady, it is better to give an example. See, your grandmother, when she was cooking, has she done any cooking with some measurements, as it is done by some chef or a cooking class? They say, take 1 spoon of this, take 2 spoons of this, take so many grams of this, etc. Your grandmother never did this thing, is it not? But don't you agree? We say my grandmother was a great cook, or my mother is a great cook. So same thing is true with this thing. Somebody puts it on record. A teacher was not preparing, let us say, what is called as course files. Nowadays, accreditation, they say, where is your course file? Well, suppose I do not have a course file. Does it mean that I am not a good teacher? See, I have a confidence. Without any paper in my hand, I can go and take a class. I don't need notes at all. Will you call me? Will you question me? Where is your course notes? Where are your this thing? Where is your assignment? Why? No, I don't need it. Question is, it is not. It some. Since you are a management teacher, you know that management makes you more organized. You are doing something, better do it by writing or putting it on paper. It becomes easy. And another advantage of organization is somebody can cross-check also. But as for cross-checking, you need a proof. You need a document. So for that, it is required. But otherwise, if a teacher says that I never make any notes and I teach without any notes, it should not be questioned. Any other question? Is it okay, or you have some more doubt?
No, sir. Thank you.
Have I satisfied, or you have some more question?
No, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, right. Next. Yeah, come on. See, unless we discuss brainstorming sessions, we will not learn. Again, I am saying learn. This is learning. It is not a one-way traffic. I keep on preaching and you just simply listen and go. That's why you will find I will not show a single slide also. Maybe I do not know whether I will showing slides, because the slides which are there with your coordinator, he will send you by email. Generally, I forget the slides because I always feel the discussion is more important. Question, answers, doubts, they are more important than lecturing. Yes. Come on. How many you have? I think more than 100 participants. Hardly 2-3 have come forward. Anybody? One thing I would like to tell, somebody just now asked me about this PhD business. For that, I have a solution. This I used to tell to many universities or teachers, etc. That especially those institutions which have become autonomous, especially those institutions which are private, they can do it, because in university system and government system, it is very difficult to change. That is something like this, that while recruiting a teacher, you take his opinion or take his choice. How much percentage you want to spend in teaching? How much percentage you want to spend in research? If he says, I want to be a good teacher only, I am not interested in research, then his duties can be assigned accordingly. Some teacher says, yes, I am interested in research, I can bring funds, I can develop laboratories, I can develop new measurement techniques, then his duties will be separately. Even for promotion, evaluation, etc., both will be evaluated or promoted based on their work in that field. Good teacher means how he is satisfying his students, how he is improving his results, what innovation he is making in the examination system or practical systems. As far as other person is concerned, how much funds he has brought from DST, CSIR, or government organizations, Ministry of Defense or space organizations, like that. So if that is the solution, because somebody asked me that management insisting publish, just publishing, what will you do? Publish, but what is done with that paper? How college is getting benefited with your publication, I would like to ask. When somebody says, do PhD, publish, how college gets benefited, how your graduate students get benefited with your publication or your being PhD. That is more important. Yes, if your PhD can change that student for doing his project, or you can get a very good project done from that student, then obviously that is required. The another important aspect now is multidisciplinary. This new education policy is emphasizing on braided learning, or the reason is because there is a mismatch between the outcome of the traditional education and the needs for the future. So this gap is growing more and more, widening this gap between what is the traditional education, which we have been imparting, and needs of the future. As I'll give an example. Any problem which is related, let us say, nanotechnology. If you take a subject of nanotechnology, do you know how many different disciplines are involved in this? It involves chemistry, it involves physics, it involves statistics, mathematics, computer science, information technology, biology, neuroscience, neural networks, so many things. So many things are involved. So this type of mixed learning is more important and need of the hour in future. And even from the job point of view, I think some of you may be from arts and social science faculty. Let me give an example. Suppose a student has done MA in language, some language, Hindi or Sanskrit or Marathi or Gujarati, MA, literature, English. The possibility of getting job is very less. If you are only MA in English, MA in Sanskrit, or MA in Hindi, MA in Marathi, possibility of getting job is very rare. But suppose I have done, now the concept of major and minor has come. So what can I say? I can do 40-50% in literature courses. 40 to 50% credits I will take from literature, Marathi literature or Hindi literature. But the rest all I will take from, let us say, media management. I will take a course on media information technology, one course. I will take one course on management science. Computer graphics, I will take one course. Or I will take one course from journalism department, mass communication. Then my job potential or job market will be much stronger because I know the language. I know how to use this language for various purposes. How to use this language for various purposes. See, knowing literature means only knowing poetry or only knowing drama or only knowing is not enough. Another example. Suppose somebody has done MA in history. MA in history. It's not enough to get a job. At the most, he can become a lecturer. But along with MA in history, with only, let us say, 40 to 50% history courses, and the rest all courses he has taken from tourism, Department of Tourism, Department of Management, some language, some journalism, some computer science course, some computer graphics course, then he can get a job in tourism industry. Just MA in history is not enough to get a job in tourism industry. But if he takes, so this is the advantage of that so-called major and minor credits. And the meaning of the credit is, I think many people have not understood the concept of credit and the importance of credit. They have not understood, in my opinion. this credit system gives you a flexibility to learn to the extent what you can. Earlier, what was happening? Every subject was 4 hours per week. See, suppose I study MSc in physics. So solid state physics, this nuclear physics, electronics, every course was 4 hours per week. But now that is not there. In credit system, 16 clock hours of learning, approximately 16 clock hours of learning will be 1 credit. So suppose I spent 32 hours somewhere in learning and grasping that subject, I can get 2 credits. That learning can be in the classroom, that learning can be in the laboratory, that learning can be outside the campus in some industry or some organization also, where you will work on some practical problem. Suppose I am doing something in economics and commerce. I can go to some bank for internship, some private bank, work there for 32 hours, say 8 weeks or something, whatever it is. And then I can learn how these people decide rate of interest, how they disburse the loan, what are the terms and conditions of disbursing the loan, how do they evaluate loan applications, or in insurance company, how do they decide the premium. These are the things which are beyond the textbook. Yes, definitions you will learn in your textbook, but their real meaning will be understood only when you go outside at the job field only. So it is possible. Suppose somebody is doing in computer science and works, let us say 2 months or 3 months in one police station and studies all cyber crimes. How do they handle cyber crimes? How do they evaluate? How do they solve the problems? Can you help with some app to, in a better fashion, to quickly solve the problem, cybercrime problems? So that is the flexibility. Our earlier system, education system, was very rigid, as I told you. 4 hours. Examination means 3 hours, 100 marks. It was just like a block. Yes, 3 hours examination, 100 marks. Can 3 hours examination not be held for 10 marks? You will say no. Why not? Exam will be for 3 hours, but I will give marks only out of 10. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. It is all percentage, I say. 8 out of 10 is exactly 80 out of 100. There is no difference. But in our mind, it is recorded that no, exam must be 3 hours. Practical exam, 2 hours. Why practical exam cannot be 8 hours? If the experiment is very big, it cannot be conducted in 2 hours and 3 hours. Let it go for 8 hours and you evaluate student properly. Let him do the project. Why even those projects even that examination also, why it cannot be done by 2-3 students together? While evaluated in Viva and questioning, you can evaluate them separately. But if it is a big project, it is a big design, they can do it together. Such innovative ideas we are not thinking. Working in a group. The problem with our student, when somebody, employer says, your students are not employable. What do they mean? Yes, they know knowledge. They have a knowledge. If you have taught them physics, they know the thermodynamics or heat and light, etc., principle of optics, etc., they know. But I do not want that knowledge. That knowledge is useless for me. My problem today is totally different. My problem is whether he can understand the problem and whether he can work in a group, in a team. He has to get inputs from somebody. He has to give output to somebody. Whether he is, and that too in time. Somebody is waiting for your outputs. His work is going to depend on what inputs you are giving to him. So this type of training is required. And that can be done. And as you all know, this we are doing it at school level. Again, I told few minutes back, look at your convent English medium school, so-called international schools, etc. They are giving projects. Whether, of course, those projects are being done by students or they are being done by the parents, that is a different story. But still, there is a charm of working together. There is a charm of learning a new concept, understanding a new concept. So that is there. So group activities is important. Group discussions are important. Group discussions are important. You instead of in your first class or when your class is of 60 minutes, for 15 minutes, there must be heated debate and heated discussion on the topic you are teaching. Why the topic is important? Where is it useful? I always give this example in every lecture. In school, you have learned that sum of two sides of a triangle is greater than the third side. Is it not? This is a theorem we have learned in our school. Sum of two sides of a triangle is always greater than the third side. Have you ever asked anybody, teacher, what is the use? Why I am learning this? Where this knowledge will be useful to me? For solving which problem this theorem will be useful to me? We never asked. We never asked. In fact, can anybody answer me this question? I think I'm sure everybody of each one of you must have learned this fact that sum of two sides of a triangle is always greater than third sides in schools. Have you ever thought why this was taught to you? Where is it useful? Are we using it in practice? And if it is not, why we were taught? Because please remember, if something is not useful, there is no need to teach. If somebody is interested, he can learn on his own. Can anybody come forward and tell why it was taught? Sum of two sides of a triangle is greater than third side. A very simple question. It's not at all difficult. It is not even a mathematical question. Anybody can answer. Yes. Silence speaks. The silence speaks. That we are learning and we do not know the objective of learning. To tell you, you will be surprised. This basic principle is used in Uber, Ola taxis to reach your destination. When you sit in the taxi, he always finds the so-called shortest route. And to find the shortest route, Ola and Uber taxis, or even your Google Map, etc., we use the same principle or same theorem is used. We are not aware. We are not aware. So our eyes must be alert, not open. Our ears must be open, alert. So around you, surrounding itself, there are problems to solve. You can, and when you teach, sometimes you have to give examples. And let me tell you one thing. To continue with the same problem, I will come to you. Just give me 1 minute. Then continuing the same problem with Ola and Uber, do you know that sometimes he does not go by shortest route. he goes by some longer route. And when you ask him, why have you not taken that shortest route and you are taking a longer route? Do you know what answer he gives? Which means that the answer which your theorem gave is not the correct answer. It need not be the only answer. There are questions having multiple solutions. We never teach this. What you want? All our examination system is, yes, this is what is given in the textbook. I expect only this answer. If some student writes different answers, you give him less marks or you cut his marks. The answer may be correct, but you give him less marks. I have, of course, I am from engineering field, so I can give many examples, but you may not be in that field, so I cannot give. But we have multiple solutions. So he is going by another route. And what justification he gives? He says, sir, this is the shortest route, but it is lot of traffic is there on this route. There are a lot of signals on this route. So if we go by this other route, we will reach earlier. So what is important for us? To go by shortest route is important, or to reach earlier is important. That will decide the solution. If I am not interested in, I am interested only in going by shortest route, then I have to dictate him that no, go by shortest route. I am not bothered about time. But I see if I am bothered about the time, I have to tell him, no, don't go by other route. I don't mind. So we have problems with multiple solutions, and we have problems with no solutions also. We have problems with no solutions also. The best example was Corona. Corona had no solution. We have experienced 2 to 3 years, at least 2 years, whole world was paralyzed. No solution. We survived. We found ways out. We did not find the solution. We find ways out. We find alternate ways. We did not find solutions. Yes, somebody was asking a question. Come. Somebody wanted to ask a question. Yeah, I stopped somebody, no? Somebody wanted... Yeah, come on. We see, when I gave so many examples, you also should come out with certain ideas and certain things, or you can doubt my theory also. You can challenge my opinions also. Yeah. Somebody wanted no question, answer? No? So, these multiple disciplines, the education in multiple disciplines is the very important feature of this educational policy. The major and minor concept. For example, I mean, if I can give my engineering example. Suppose I got admission in electronics engineering. So what I will do? I will do major in electronics engineering. 50 to 60% credits I will do in electronics engineering, and the rest I can do in computer science engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, physics. I can take one course on some literature also. Just now, Rafe was telling that, for example, I am interested in literature. Yes, nothing wrong in taking one course in English poetry or Hindi poetry or whatever. Yes, it is my hobby. It will improve my communication skills. It will improve my artistic look at the thing. Poetry is equally important as engineering is. So this flexibility, and another thing is, it does not expect you to learn with the same phase. speed. If you are a slow learner, you can take more time. If you are a quick learner, you can do more credits. Then earlier it was compartmentalized, 3 years graduate. So you had to spend 3 years in the university to complete your graduation. Now, after 1 year, they will give you some maybe junior diploma. After 2 years, they will give you diploma. After 3 years, they will give you graduation degree. After 4 years, they will give you honors, maybe honors or PG diploma. After 5 years, they will give you PG degree, like that. So, and since your credits, etc., will be there in the bank, just like your account is in bank account, you open and it is there. So, these credits will get added and permanently will be there. As soon as you complete that number of credits, the degree is awarded or certificate is awarded. In fact, there will be a total kundali in the computer. Once you have, just like your Aadhaar number is there. So when you get admission, there will be one unique number by which you will be identified, just like Aadhaar. And once, suppose I type that number, I know which university you learn, which how many courses you have done, what subjects you have taken. This interdisciplinary learning, why it is important, let me tell you with an example. 30 years back, automobile engineering, car production was a subject of mechanical engineering. Car production or automobile was a subject of mechanical engineering 30 years back. Today, 80 to 90% car is electronics and computers engineering. Only the outer chassis, etc., that is only mechanical. Things have changed. So you have to be alert with this change. You have to cope up with these changes. Now, people are talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning. Courses have started. Now, if somebody asks me, is starting a graduate course in artificial intelligence or machine learning, etc., is a good move? My answer is absolutely no. It is a foolish decision. One cannot give a graduate degree in artificial intelligence or machine learning. These are the techniques to be learned by experience on your own. They are simply some algorithms. You can, if you have some basic knowledge of electronics, I have some basic knowledge of computer science, or even some physics. I can learn it with practice. By solving examples, by working with somebody. There is no need to go join a college or spend your 4 years and get a degree. It is something like, earlier there used to be one MBBS degree. For doctors, there used to be an MBBS degree. Now, suppose you say, I want to give MBBS in ears, MBBS for brain, MBBS for only orthopedics, or MBBS for only children, MBBS for women problem. No, you cannot do that. Base has to be strong. That's what in engineering, management, science, base has to be strong. That's why good knowledge of mathematics. In fact, whatever we have learned up to 12th, that is enough to go learn on your own. Let me tell you very frankly. Whatever you have learned, our junior college, our school education up to 12, that syllabus and that structure is excellent. In world, I can tell you. Our students are much better than some foreign students. Only difference is they have more practical oriented learning, whereas ours is textbook oriented learning. That is the difference. They suppose they want to teach them marketing and other thing. They will not teach sales and marketing in classroom. They will take the students in mall and then they say, observe how this very sales department, marketing department, how the things are placed, etc. Observe and learn. Observe and learn. That is more important. Same thing is true with languages. There is a lot of emphasis on languages in foreign countries. Why? Communication is more important. I may have a knowledge. I may be very good in mathematics. I can derive any complicated equation and convince it. But if I cannot apply, or whatever I have done, I cannot explain to you in a very simple language, there is absolutely no use of my knowledge. That is why somebody was asking me paper writing, etc. Yes, you write a paper, but if your paper nobody understands and nobody makes anything out of it, what is the use of that? It may be a very hi-fi research, but you have to communicate. You have to explain. Therefore, they say that paper writing must be in as simple language as possible. You should not use literary language. Yes, grammatical mistakes should not be there, but communication, whatever you want to communicate, that you must be communicated in simple words and proper words. Proper words. Even one word cannot be shifted from here and there. Meaning changes. Meaning changes. So these things are very, very important. I think 4 o'clock you have a break, Rafe?
Yes, sir. We can take a break now.
Yeah. So how much time? 15 minutes?
Yes, 15 minutes break. And sir, after that, I'm going for one lecture. So Amol will look after all this session.
It's okay. So 4 to 4:15, no?
Yes, 4:15 a break will be.
Okay, so 4 to 4:15 you have a break. But what I would suggest, after 4:15, please come prepared with some questions and answers. We will start next sections with again some discussion and then some points. Okay, break.
जरा सुनीता को बोलिए ना कि शर्ट धो दे तो मैं मशीन चालू कर दूं।
Hello.
Yes, sir, we can start. Sir, your voice is muted.
Okay. Okay. Now it's
Yes,
okay.
yes. Yes, sir, you are audible. Yes, you can
So
start.
you can keep your slide, those slides also ready. So after this discussion, we'll roll those slides also. Okay. Hello. Yes. Now coming back, whatever points I have discussed, do you have any discussion or questions, doubts? Let us agree to be disagree. We should always agree to disagree. Yes. Anybody having question? Somebody is talking about MBBS system. That's good. Let us know some experience about arts and social science, or maybe pure science, applied science. What are they? Or can we have some experience that those who have started implementing the policy but finding it difficult, or then what are the difficulties? Those points can come out. Or if you have some basic questions on policy. Yeah, nobody is coming. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Yeah. Let the questions be asked. I'm waiting for some doubts and questions. Yeah. It's not clear. Not clear.
Participant, any question, you can unmute themselves and ask the question. Yes, roll number 189.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Roll number 189, you are not voice or breaking.
You you can type it. You can type the questions. I am able to see also.
Yes. So participant, you can type the question in chat box.
Dr. Vivek. Yeah, there is a question that somebody said, communication. Student has answered the question, but the language is not proper. Should we punish? In my opinion, not much punishment. As long as the concept he has understood, just for the communication or just for the language, he should not be punished. But he or she should not be punished. But a warning can be given, or he can be helped to improve his communication. How? And that is possible. Let me tell you very frankly. You can change at any age. You can change at any stage. Your age will not be a bar for new learning. Believe me, I am learning many things even today. There are many concepts which I could not understand earlier, but they are now getting clear. There were certain paradoxes, doubts in our own teaching. I am getting to clarify it now. So you can do it. Yes. Anybody, anything else?
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, please.
Sir, first of all, thanks a lot for sharing your experience and the loopholes as well as some drawbacks which are there in the current education system, and certainly new education policy or your teaching or your sharing will certainly helpful for all the teachers in a big way.
Okay.
My basic question is, sir, when we are facing students of different level, different intellect, when we are facing students of different intellectual level,
yeah.
As far as the teaching teaching skill is concerned, there is always a consideration of target audience. How a teaching should be, or what would be the basic elements of teaching when we need to connect with each and every student in the class. What are some basic tips?
Okay, this is a very good question. I'll tell you. See, even generally 80% students in your class, they will be average or below average. Okay, only 15-20 will be slightly intellectual or they are smart. See, intellectual and smart, they are two different things. Okay, so 10-15%. So definitely you should teach as simple way as possible. As simple way. That person who is intelligent, etc., he can learn on his own. He can, what I say, do some extra work and difficult problems and show it to you separately. You can encourage him separately. There is no problem. Okay. Now tell me, from which discipline you are?
We are from pharmaceutical sciences. Pharmaceutical sciences. Pharmacy.
Pharmaceutical. Okay.
Yes,
now I will demonstrate this by example. Okay. So definitely when you are in pharmacy thing, you are not in the field of electronics engineering or etc. Is it not?
No. Yeah.
No.
No, we are
Now,
not.
have you heard about the radar?
Yeah.
Radar you have heard. Where is it used?
It is for defense in airports also.
It is used in airport. You do not know how it operates?
Little bit, not fully.
No, what radar does? What radar does?
They will, just like invigilate, and they will just monitor the entry and exit points.
Oh, no, that's not correct. Actually, radar detects the target.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now, I think this is a very interesting thing. I think all of you should be listen very carefully. Your name is
Vivek.
Vivek, okay. So now, Vivek, you are not in the field of radar, you are not in the field of electronics, but within 5 minutes, okay, I will explain to you the principle of radar. Is it okay?
Yes, yes. Would be happy, sir.
Yeah. Just within 5 minutes. Only basic principle I will explain how the radar expect. See, objective radar is to locate the target or object, any object. Okay, imagine in your house, you are sitting in the evening. There is a you are sitting on your bed. Okay, you are playing with your golden ring in your finger.
Yeah.
Suddenly that you are playing with that ring. Suddenly that ring falls on the ground and it gets lost. And suddenly lights also goes off. So there is a darkness. In that darkness, you have to search that ring. Okay, what will you do?
I'll first find a torch or candle.
Very good, very good. You will find a torch. And then what will you do?
I'll try to set wherever possible.
It means you will move the torch with your hand.
Yes, yes, yes.
As soon as the ring, you see the ring, you will stop.
Search.
Yeah, now, as soon as you see the ring,
Yeah.
you will stop the torch or not?
Yeah, I will.
I will stop. And then you focus that whole beam on the ring, and you know the ring. Now the question is, you have to get that ring, is it not?
Yes, yes. That was my target.
Now suppose the ring is at the wall corner, and you have to take it out. So you need some stick.
Yes.
Now for that you should know at what distance it is or not.
Yes.
At what distance it is, because accordingly you will get a stick and take out that ring, is it not?
Yeah, length of that stick is very important for me.
Very important. Now, I will give another example. To find that distance, I will give another example. Suppose you are traveling from, let us say, Mumbai to Pune. Okay, and you take 2 hours. You take 2 hours. I mean, just give a hypothetical, or 4 hours, let us say, 4 hours. Your average speed is 40 kilometers per hour. What is the distance between Mumbai and Pune?
Yeah, 120 kilometers.
40 kilometers per hour. You take 4 hours.
160.
160. That's all. You have understood this is the principle of radar.
Okay.
That's all. You wanted to find the distance, and you want to find the location.
Yeah.
Instead of your torch light, they are using electromagnetic beam. And that electromagnetic beam, I told you 40 kilometers per hour, that that electromagnetic beam travels with a speed of light, which is known. So if I know the time the beam goes and comes back, I can find the distance. Is it not?
Yes,
so
exactly.
Now you see, radar is a very complicated subject.
Yes.
Just now your coordinator told that I am expert in radar. But let me tell you, it is not as simple as this is. But today you have understood how the radar operates and what is the objective, is it not?
Yes, exactly.
It's very simple. Very simple. So, but this example is not given in any textbook. You have to think. That's what I said, some time back. Keep eyes open, keep ears this thing. You will find the examples. I'm telling you, who is the best teacher? Is any complicated subject, right? Suppose I am electronics engineer. If how the TV operates, if I can explain this to my grandmother who is illiterate, who has not gone to the school, then I am a good teacher. Have you understood?
Yes.
That is the concept. So you must be able to take it to a grassroots level.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it will not. That's why there is a very famous, you can see on the YouTube, Professor H.C. Verma. He's a physics teacher. I don't know if anybody has seen his YouTube lectures or something. It is very interesting and very catching also. And you should know how a good teacher, you can become a good teacher. He's a physics teacher from IIT Kanpur. He's retired, of course, now. But you see how he teaches. How he teaches. He teaches even school. Nowadays, of course, after retirement, after teaching IIT, etc., now after retirement, he started his own school and he is teaching very basic concepts to the school boys, physics, science, to the school boys. But he takes the students to the field and then start teaching. There is a very famous teacher in Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, Professor, sorry, not Bangalore, Ahmedabad. Professor Gupta, Arvind Gupta, very famous person.
Yeah. I know, sir.
Yeah, he never teaches students in the class.
Exactly.
Never. He takes his student for 1 month tour. In anywhere, in village, he will go, they will go. And that's all. They say, whatever you observe, learn. Take your own inferences. That is important.
Thousands of
That
his
is
videos are available online, and very basic concepts of basic sciences, but there with the help of his videos.
Who's?
Gupta, sir. That you told.
Gupta. Yeah. So what I want to say, even this Gupta is available, and A.C. Verma is also available.
Yes.
And there are many things where you can know how to teach. And multidisciplinary examples are very important. You should not give examples from the same field. You can give examples from the different fields. Sports can be connected to science, right? Sports, moral ethics can be suppose you are talking about moral ethics, right? You can take an example, very good example from the sports. Especially, there are we had a management science madam just now. She asked question. In management, moral values and ethical values is very important. That can be taught only by example. It cannot be taught by, for example, what is quality, what is professionalism. It can be taught only by examples. Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
So don't bother about the different standards. You have to go to them. They will not come to you.
Yes.
You have to step down.
Yeah, better connection is important.
You see, yesterday I do not know I do not know how many of you watched yesterday this Padma Awards ceremony.
Yeah.
What a greatness of our president. She was coming down to give award to many people who were unable to go to the dais. That is the great lesson for a teacher. You have to come down to the student, to his level, if he is not coming to your level. I think she has taught a great lesson yesterday to all the teachers. Yes. Next.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you very much.
When we talk about this multidisciplinary business and another thing, why multidisciplinary knowledge is required? Because the whole world is changing. It is, you have already seen to what extent the information technology revolution and now so-called artificial intelligence, machine learning, etc. People are afraid about jobs. I think you should never bother about the jobs. Jobs will be there. Their nature will change. Not only that, you will get now more time for your own work.
Yes, that's true.
In fact, I gave an example, no? There was no Xeroxing system. There were no computational system. To calculate or to compute, I needed 3 days for my computation. Now you can do it in few seconds. So 3 days time has reduced to few seconds. Now I have leisure 3 days for you because of technology. You can use it. Is it not?
Yes, exactly.
You can use it for your hobby. You can use for reading. You can use for listening to music. That is the advantage. You can do a lot of more research now. So you have more time. Same thing is true. any concept you want to teach, now you have everybody of using so-called PPT. So you are not deriving the equation on the, or you are not drawing that complicated figure on the blackboard, which used to take a lot of time. So you are saving time. So you to utilize this time for something else, because that figure can be shown on the screen by computer.
Sir,
Is it not?
yes, sir. Exactly same question was asked to Mr. Narayan Murthy. He answered in a same fashion like you told. What he said, AI definitely is going to reduce the manpower, but you can use AI for the sake of some routine works, not for some technical and advanced works. For technical and
Not
advanced,
only,
you use your brain for those things, and for only routine.
I am telling you, emotions, feelings, smile, tears, they cannot be created.
Exactly.
Yes, but biotechnology and medical electronics, that to some extent is possible, because see, what are they? See, people talk about artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence. Do you know the problem with artificial intelligence is? It is a legal problem.
Yeah.
It is a legal problem. You have to change the laws.
Exactly.
You have to change the laws, and it is very difficult to do that. Today, somebody, suppose suppose driverless car is going on the street, and it is going with artificial intelligence, etc., etc., etc. Okay, but suppose accident is there. Yes, definitely it will take care of everything. If school is there, it will automatically stop. If somebody is crossing, it will take care, etc. Right? But suppose there is no school, and still, let us say, suddenly one boy, small boy is crossing.
Yes.
That was not told to this algorithm. Then there is a problem. Of course, it will change, etc. It is okay, different. But the question will again come that if there is an accident, the police will catch whom?
Yes. To handle that situation would be difficult.
To handle that case,
Yes.
who will be punished? That is a very big question. Similarly, in the field of medical electronics, lot of inventions are there, discoveries are there, improvements are there. Cancer, for example, you can straightway now hit the medicine at the proper place. Earlier, we used to take, and when you take a medicine, remember, it spoils your other organs also.
Yes.
Apart from hitting the disease organ, it also, while going inside, for example, first it goes to liver, it seems.
Yes.
And from the liver, it goes to some other places. So your liver gets, your liver or kidney, that also gets spoiled, even if it is healthy. But because of artificial intelligence, neural networks, and robotics, etc., you can pinpoint the medicine exactly at the place and get it cured. These are the advantages. But the question will come, suppose you are now, your average age is 70 years. Suppose it becomes 100 years. Right? Who will look after you? Who will take care of you? You will be healthy. You will be moving, but you will be unwanted.
Yes.
You will be unwanted. Now itself, those problems are there. So there are very psychological problems, social problems, etc. Student has to be prepared to do this. I tell you what we should know and what we should not know. I'll give a simple example. Since you gave an example of Narayan Murthy, I will give an example of his wife, Sudha Murthy, who herself is a computer science engineer, and she wanted to recruit some people as a candidate first, and the requirement was they must know particular language of a computer. I mean, there are different languages. So the need was they must be expert in that particular language. So everybody she was asking, do you know this language? Yes. They will, with confidence, they will say, yes, I know. Then she will ask questions. They were not able to answer. One candidate was there. She asked, do you know this language? He said, madam, I do not know. But he did not stop there. Next sentence was very important. Do you know what was the next sentence? Madam, I do not know. Please give me 15 days. I will learn and deliver the goods. I can tell you. This fellow was selected.
Okay, because of
So
promise.
people do not see your grades. People do not see your
Expertise or skill.
expertise of this, how much subject you can fool. See, everybody was saying, I know, is it not? Those I know fellows were not selected. The fellow was selected who said, I do not know. But next sentence was important. Give me 15 days. I will.
Yeah.
She found out that this fellow is useful for the project organization. So you also should teach, and your approach also should be teach. I do not know. See, it may happen. Let me tell you. For me, in the beginning, teaching at IIT students, especially undergraduate students, was a big challenge. Unless we prepare for 7 to 8 hours, it was very difficult to enter the class. You do not know what question will get shooted from which corner. So, but you can say, yes, suppose I do not know. I can say, I do not know. Immediately I am not able to answer. But let us say tomorrow we will discuss the same thing and we'll do it. What is wrong there? But that is very important.
Yes.
Student must be encouraged for questioning. Student must be encouraged for doing this thing. Same thing is with the examination system. Our examination system is hopeless now at present. It does not test. I have seen interviews of those students who have come with laurels, 99% on TV. They cannot speak single sentence with anchor. They cannot answer. How did you achieve this success? Who were responsible for your success? These simple questions they were not able to answer. What is the use of 99%? Tell me.
Exactly.
So marks are not important. And students also should not be punished for their unnecessary this thing. But they must be punished whenever required. If they are not attending the class, question paper should be so tough that they cannot solve unless they have attended the class. See, we are at fault.
Yes.
Okay, any other question?
Thanks a lot.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Samand. I'm the professor and head of the Department of Orthopedics in DY Patil.
Yeah, very good.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry if there are some mistakes in my medical things.
No,
Please
sir.
excuse me.
No, sir. My question is, with the advent of new technologies coming up and ready-made availability on the iPad or mobile phones, including teaching and everything, do you think that this has hurt basic education is lacking now to the students? Because see, when we were students in MBBS and MS, the teaching was more of a clinical. Now everything is on the tab. Everything, whatever you say, is on the tab. So the students are not ready to come and attend the classes. Attendance is a big issue for attending the classes. We prepare and go, and the students are not there. Out of 250, 22 students will be there, or 26 students will be there. And what should be done in this case?
Same thing we just now I told 3 minutes back. Your teaching should be such, right? Or your examination and evaluation should be such that the answer to the questions are just not only available in the app or API, etc., but he has to search on its own. You understood my point?
Yes, sir.
He should not be able to clear the subject unless he has attended your class. He should not be able to write the question paper set by you unless he attends your class. If you create that situation, he will attend your class. The problem is we have so much diluted the evaluation system that
Exactly.
whether you attend or not, you give him first class, you give him passing marks. That is the thing.
Sir, another question is there is
The
something
problem,
called as
sir, doctor,
yes, yes, sir.
problem lies with us. You see, I can on this. See, another thing is you say it is available on internet, it is available on mobile. That is information. That is not knowledge.
Okay.
You already had an information that sum of two sides of a triangle was greater than third side. This information was there with everybody today attending the class. But they were not aware that it is the same principle is being used in Uber or Ola. That is knowledge.
Okay.
Which they have learned today.
Sir, another thing is
yeah, please.
yes. So another thing is nowadays everything has become, objective. Means 1 mark question, multiple choice question. There is nothing asked any details about one particular type of say
No,
illness.
but as far as I understand in your medical thing,
Yes.
most of the things depends on the bedside examination and vivas and other things. There you can catch, no?
Yeah, we can catch, sir, but in the exam point of view, the questions nowadays are asked only of multiple choice. 1 mark each. During our times, the
I
question was
agree.
20 marks.
No. See, there is an internal assessment.
Yes.
That internal assessment is totally in the hand of the teacher.
Yes.
Who prevents you for setting innovative questions?
Not innovative, sir. They are not lengthy questions.
No, you are setting, is it not?
But sir, we have got the NMC guidelines. You have to set the paper accordingly.
But you can tell them that they are my student, it is my evaluation, I will evaluate.
Sir,
See,
that will not be possible.
No, I don't agree with you. You can fight with whichever your organization is there. As far as internal assessment is concerned, it is totally my prerogative how I will evaluate my student. Nobody can dictate me. Yes, in university exam, etc., you can do whatever you like. But the marks which are in the hands of the teacher, it is totally this thing. They cannot set the paper like this.
Okay. So third
I
question
have never
is,
seen, even in university system also, as far as internal assessment is concerned, they don't dictate that you should do like this, you should do like this, you should do like this. Just for your information, doctor.
Yes, sir.
For 10 years, do you know how I was evaluating the students internally? I am not talking about final examination, because final examination is the university exam. As far as internal evaluation is concerned, I was evaluating like this. 50 students in a class. I will tell this Saturday there is an examination. Everybody should come with 4 questions. Every student will bring 4 questions. Means he will set the paper. Okay. He will also prepare the solution at home. On that day, Saturday, they come. Everybody comes with a question paper of 4 questions. Right? 50 students, 50 questions. Let us assume that 5-10 students, they are staying in a hostel, they copied, etc., but that percentage is very low. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But if I tell you further, that also the copy they will not do for the reason I am telling you now in 2 minutes. Then I will take the question papers, distribute them to the class. A's question will go to B, B's question will go to C, etc., right? They will write the examination. At the end, I will collect the question papers and give it to the same boy who has set the paper. He will evaluate it.
Okay.
Right. At the end, there is some committee of some 4 or 5 students. If you have any grievances, etc., go to that committee. They will evaluate, and one group leader, whatever is that monitor or group leader, he will give me the final marks. Believe me, there was no copying. There was strict evaluation. even students were evaluating stricter than me. Because why they were evaluating strict? Because other students should not get marks more than him.
Okay.
And this process they were enjoying. They were enjoying this examination system. There was no tension because for every Saturday, if a one chapter is completed, the exam was conducted. They used to have a question bank of 50 into 4, 200
questions.
questions with answers. So suppose I have five units, 5 exams are conducted. Imagine no need for separate preparation. Whole process was being enjoyed. There was no tension, and evaluation was, and as a teacher I was free. And I asked students, do you like it? They said like it. So I'm not saying you follow me. I'm not saying you follow the same procedure. You can have your own procedures, but you can make some changes. You can find in your engineering or medical, you can give one complicated problem to 10 students and ask them to diagnose the same patient. Let them come with different answers. Or different clinical, or purposely give them wrong clinical diagnosis.
Sir, this I will definitely try. Sir, last question is, students, sir, how you are now, we have been taking accountable for these lectures to develop idea in the students.
Yeah.
Like, is UGC taking any steps for students to have some interest in whatever profession or PG classes they are doing?
Let me tell you one thing. UGC is a regulatory body.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
it
sir.
is like, to give you a very example in a very lighter way. After all, problem of husband and wife has to be solved inside the house.
Yes.
Court will give you no court will give you solution because each case is different.
Yes.
Just like in your clinical thing, appendix is appendix, but each patient is different. High blood pressure is a high blood pressure, but each
tablet
patient
will be
is given different tablet.
Yes.
No, each patient is given different tablet, which I have never understood why it is like that. But anyway, that is a different story. But what I want to say, that blaming UGC, blaming Vice Chancellor, blaming government, this has become a habit of individual.
No, sir, I am not blaming.
No, I'm not saying it is not. I'm not blaming you. I'm saying it is a general habit of anybody, any citizen. Instead of that, whatever authority, small authority I have, whatever freedom I have, what can I do my best with that freedom and that authority? I think that if you do, and every teacher does that, you don't bother about UGC. Please remember, UGC does not make laws. It gives guidelines. It is like going on a road, walk on the left, on footpath. It's a guideline. It's a guideline. It is not a law. Suppose I am going on the right. Nobody will put me in the jail.
Okay.
But I will be in trouble. No, but I will be in trouble.
Yeah.
Is it not? So,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So UGC is the, see, even for PhD, they have given so much strict guidelines. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Who is doing? Every university is having his or their own diluted rules and regulations, and they are adding water to the milk.
Okay.
I have never understood why every university should have a different rules for PhD. Why can't we have a common rule everywhere?
Sir, the another question is, sir, normally when the results are declared, so there are some universities, they have a resit exam. Means you can resit exams, means you can appear for the exams in next 45 days. So,
yeah.
so that is official. Matlab, it is there in all the universities in all the courses.
Yeah. No, there is name is different. We call it supplementary examination.
Okay.
We call in our university language, maybe medical you call something else. We call it supplementary. That is required because somebody may be sick, somebody maybe have their own problem, right? So that supplementary examination facility is on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
Sir, I just have one question. This is Dr. Anand Patil.
Go ahead.
In the professional courses like MBBS or maybe engineering, do we really need to prepare the blueprints of the question paper and give it to students? Because would it be considered as a spoon feeding? Because the NAC requires.
No. You are from engineering?
I'm from the medical side, sir.
Oh, you are from medical. What is your question?
My question is, the NAC is, there is a criteria called blueprint. So students should be given
No,
a blueprint.
I don't know. What is blueprint?
Blueprint is, for example, there's a syllabus and the question paper is having long question, short question, multiple choice. The student should be, before examination, they should be knowing that which long question is coming from which system or which chapter. Would that be a spoon feeding? And should
No,
that
I see. I tell you, such why this has happened, I can tell you. Earlier, this type of thing was not there. That even the format of question paper also should be like this. For example, four questions, multiple choice, 2 questions, 2 marks questions, short questions, then 1 5-mark question, etc. Now that trend has come to even 10th examinations and 12th examination. In our time, such things were not there. Why this has happened? Because the number has increased. Number of students appearing in the examination because of private colleges, because of affiliated colleges, this number has increased. And unless when you are evaluating lakhs of students at a time, and you want some uniformity in the evaluation, therefore they said that these things were required. That mark distribution, etc., these guidelines are given. But this is because of that. But as long as, see, for example, suppose I give a very different questions. Just now I gave you an example. But they should be able to do it. In my opinion, the guidelines was required because of that number has increased, and to have uniformity, it is like IIT. IIT entrance also, that pattern of that entrance examination is fixed. You cannot go out of that pattern. That was required only because the number is large.
Yeah, exactly.
You cannot.
If we compare.
But for example, suppose in medical you have 30 students, right, in your class, or 50 students even. And you are the whole soul of those 50 students, and you are evaluating, etc. You can do any. You are free to do any experiments as far as examination is concerned. Problem will come instead of 50. If that number is 5,000, and different teachers are teaching, different teachers are evaluating, different teachers are examining the papers, then that, in order to have uniformity, all that restrictions are coming.
So, thank you, sir.
Right. Next. Now, what is happening? I think we are now coming to the last stage. I think I have just half an hour left. So, we were mostly talking about mismatch between the traditional education and the needs for the future. How can you bridge the gap between the two? So, you will see that in every field, things are changing so fast. Earlier, the STD booth was there. Now, if I talk about the STD booth, people will ask, what is STD? Is it not? If I tell that we were communicating by a postcard or inland letter, people don't know what is postcard, what is inland letter. So things are this is being even your daily purchases. No, we have not thought about. See, you are at home, and all purchases are being done at home. Not only that, there is a better. Somebody says that it is a better thing. You are not spending time in the travel. You are not spending petrol, and there is also a provision that if you don't like it, return, and that it's free. These type of changes in sales, marketing, commodities, finance, insurance, medical, everywhere, it is not the same. Now here, many doctors are there, and I'm happy that many people from this thing. I remember 20 years back, when you go to a dentist, he used to take you the X-ray of your teeth by putting some film in your
Mouth.
near your mouth, and it was very painful, even for those 2-3 putting that teeth film, and then he will take it, go to the X-ray room, and at least he will take 15 minutes to develop it, and then come to the diagnosis. Or sometimes he will say, "Come tomorrow, I will see the X-ray and give the decision." Now there is small tube which goes inside. It is connected to the computer. That some camera is moved here and there. Not only one teeth, your all 24 teeth X-ray is taken in 20 seconds. It is available on doctor. Next 10 seconds, it is available on your mobile also. So that if you want to consult another, it is not that come tomorrow I will give. What I want to say, that things are totally changing everywhere, every field. Are our students prepared for this? That is important. Whether sales, marketing, communication, journalism. So take an example of journalism. How it has changed. We were just having one newspaper in the morning. Today I can see, and that too, now I can see 10 newspapers, and that too also free, without spending any money. As a consequence, whether the news is true or not, whether I should believe it or not, what are the social consequences, etc., is in my hand. People blame social media, for example, but I find it is all depends on me how to use it. So much knowledge. I mean, sometimes so much good lectures are available on YouTube. And the advantage of YouTube is one beautiful thing which I have observed with YouTube is no lecture is more than 20 minutes, maximum half an hour. And that is a very good lesson our teacher should learn. If you want to have a grab or grasp of a student, your lecture should not be more than 30 minutes. I mean, you should not talk more than 30 minutes. It's all boring. Even I can tell you, this all three hours of my session here, to many people it must have been boring, because it is duration. To hold your mind, to hold yourself at one place for 3 hours is not a joke. It is a challenge. But had it been for half an hour, you would have all enjoyed it. But we are not thinking, again, UGC rule, it should be 3 hours, 2 sessions, this session, that session. We are all bound by rigid rules and regulations. We are not making learning, teaching as enjoyable process. It must be enjoyable. When you are teaching a beautiful poem, how can you teach beautiful poem, Wordsworth poem on nature in a 4 walls of classroom? No, you have to take the students to the garden, to jungle, show them flowers, show them different trees, colors, shapes, how the nature, how we can talk with nature, how we can communicate with the birds, how we can communicate with what is the importance of their existence. That we do not think. Take an example. How many of you have read Gitanjali by Dr. Rabindranath Tagore? He is the only Nobel laureate in the literature, in the history of independent India. Only one single. Well, should we not have, as a teacher, should we not have a curiosity to find out that how a Bengali person 100 years back, or whatever that year he got, can bag that highest Nobel Prize? What he has to communicate, what he has to say in those poems. What was so great in his poems that they gave him the Nobel Prize? This curiosity, that's why somebody was asking me, something is available on app, something is available this. No. Rabindranath Tagore's Gitanjali may be available on the app, but understanding Gitanjali is my learning. It all depends on me, how I spend time on Gitanjali. How can I use Gitanjali in today's life? So it is the same thing. It's the same thing with available. It is applicable to literature, music, art, journalism. People say so many bad things are there in education system itself. So many things. Last week itself, at least those who are here, Marathi people, Marathi speaking. Last 2 weeks, I have written 2 beautiful articles on this system. One is related with PhD thesis and PhD research, and another is related with syllabus versus industrial needs. At least those who are in Marathi, they can see it in Lok Satta and Sakal newspapers in the last week. I have talked with a very important issue. One is the quality of PhD research. Second is mismatch between industry and university syllabus. First of all, yes, that point also I can discuss. Are we supposed to prepare the graduates, whether engineer, management, arts, science, engineering, doctor, as a ready-made candidate for a job? I don't think. Yes, people like doctors, etc., you have same requirement, etc., I agree. But even in, I think, the doctor field also, you may have so many options. Your personal thing is there, multi-specialty hospital is there, hospital management is there, so many things are there. In engineering also, how many people do engineering? The total thing. Yeah, the famous example is of that Chetan Bhagat. Chetan Bhagat is a mechanical engineer from IIT Delhi. He has done MBA from Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. And after that, he served in bank. After that, after becoming mechanical engineer and management, he served in some multinational bank and left the job after some 2-3 decades and writing what? Picture stories, novels. But he's enjoying. Imagine an engineer, he's enjoying, he's writing an article in Times. See, person feels that writing an article in Times of India or Indian Express or Hindu is much more enjoyable than doing mechanical engineering job. Forget about money, nobody. And let me tell you, all of you must have experienced in the Corona time that people had a lot of money in the bank. Lakhs of rupees they were there in the bank. But they were all useless. They could not do anything for those 1 or 2 years. So money is not everything. And this type of philosophy, this type of mentality has to be inculcated while graduating students. You are not giving them the degree for the job. In fact, as it is famously said, degree and job should be totally delinked. Totally delinked. Job will be given. I gave you an example. Job will be given on what whether you are fit for those companies or not. Are given. They see whether this fellow is useful for me or not. He may be IITN or some EMS or whatever it is there. They are not bothered. They are bothered that they have this project, whether he can handle this project, whether he can be asset to that project, whether he can bring more funds to that project. That is their interest. His mark sheet. Yeah, those are some basic requirements to do this thing. But otherwise, they are not interested nowadays. I have seen many interviews, how they are conducted and other things. Nobody bothers. Nobody looks at your PhD thesis. This is only for the teaching job, etc. They give importance. And in my opinion, as somebody was asking, giving importance to those publications and your degree is not required. I would at least see how I will send you to the class. I will send you to the class and sit in the back and examine whether you are able to teach properly or not. That is my interview. What is the use of asking, examining your biodata and your degrees and your marks, etc., and you are not able to deliver to the classroom? You are not able to develop a laboratory for undergraduate students. You are not developed to frame some good practical projects for the students. So this is the whole affair. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Any questions? I think we have now last 10 minutes. If you have any questions specifically, you can say. There are so many things. The evaluation process.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Should
tell your name and faculty.
My name is Dr. Anand Patil from Medical College, Dr. D.Y. Patil Medical College, Navi Mumbai.
Oh, it's a good thing that we have a lot of doctors here. Very good. Okay.
Sir, in the examination, weightage is given proportionately to internal assessment and university assessment.
Yeah.
And at this point of time, the more weightage is given to the university examination. Do you think that the weightage should be more for the internal examination than the university examination?
See, my opinion, as say I am an IIT student. Okay. And IIT teacher also. I served 10 years. There, everything is teacher dependent.
Mm-hmm.
All foreign universities.
Mm-hmm.
All foreign universities. It is teacher dependent only. Teacher means a person who is teaching.
Mm-hmm.
He himself will grade you. That's all. In my opinion, that is the best thing. The problem is again because of numbers. Since whether it is medical fraternity or engineering fraternity or management, the colleges are so many that evaluating them on a common platform with common norms is becoming extremely difficult. And therefore, all these problems have come. But otherwise, if you ask me, if I am teaching the subject, I should grade the students.
Absolutely. I do agree. Thank you.
And let me tell you one thing. Just 2 months back, I met one of my first batch students from IIT, 1974, 1976 batch. I taught him at postgraduate level. I still remember. He's a very renowned scientist or something in USA. He came here and I met him in my department. The problem with this gentleman was his handwriting was very bad, very bad. Nobody could understand his handwriting. So what we used to do as a teacher, we had to call him into our room and ask him to read the answer script. Then only, because otherwise you cannot grade him. Now you tell me, should I punish that student? And he was a very intelligent. The fact that now he's a very great professor and fellow of some society, etc., etc., it means basically he's intelligent. Should I punish him for not having good handwriting? No. IIT did not punish him. Every teacher, and not only me, every teacher used to call him in their room, show him his answer script, he will read it, and we give him the grade. That's all. Now you got the answer. See,
Absolutely.
Your internal evaluation is always, internal means evaluate. And just now I gave an example. Your son or a daughter is in some school, is it not?
Yes, sir.
Up to, forget about board, 10th and 12th, but up to 9th class, who is evaluating? Class teacher.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Have you any time, you will go to parents meeting, etc., etc. But has any parent questioned or challenged that lady, teacher? No, we don't challenge. When we can do it very nicely in the school, why can't we do it in colleges? That is the question. Of course, problem lies because of commercialization, privatization. So much hodgepodge has happened in the field of education that nobody believes anybody.
True.
Nobody believes anybody.
Very true, sir. Thank
Student doesn't believe teacher. Head of the department doesn't believe teacher. Principal doesn't believe head of the department. Management doesn't believe principal. And vice chancellor doesn't believe anybody. And because of that, this whole thing is coming. So I call spade as a spade. So whatever is there, I am telling the truth.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being so open and so frank. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm always open. You have to accept the bitter truth.
Sir, one more doubt I want to know. I'm
Please.
Dr. Samant again. So nowadays, when you get promotions from assistant professor to associate to professor, they have made certain, I'm talking about medical councils, they are said about publications. If you want to get promotion from assistant to associate, you require 2 publications, which is mandatory. Now, every year, they keep on changing the index journals for the same. First, it was Copernicus. Now it is PubMed. So, do you think, is this necessary that for promotion, these publications are necessary?
I think these questions I asked you in the beginning itself. In my opinion, neither the PhD nor the publication is required for a good teacher.
Okay.
Let me tell you. Let me prove it by example. Of course, you will say this is an old example, etc. But education is education, is it not?
Yes, sir.
My guru's guru means the person with whom I did PhD. His PhD guide was not PhD.
Yes, sir.
He was not PhD, but he produced dozen PhDs. Without PhD, he became the director of IIT. Without PhD, he served the IIT till the age of 90, till his death.
Okay.
IIT honored him with a big center in his name. He was not PhD at all. There is another example, again good example. His biodata on paper was in some other specialization. Just like, you are saying orthopedics and something else, right?
Yes.
So he's on paper, and he was also not PhD. That person was not PhD. He has done only postgraduate. His biodata is in some specialization. In fact, it was in my specialization, which I am microwave, radar, etc., etc. But in IIT, the person became professor and head in computer science.
Okay.
He became. If you see biodata, nobody can make him. There is nothing to prove on paper that he is a computer science expert. But he was recognized as a teacher and as a good teacher. He was recognized as a computer expert, and they gave him. I mean, you may say that these are few examples, these are not general examples, but exceptions are there where there is a strong force, where there is a strong position. You can question. Suppose I would have been in your position. I will question that whichever that so-called medical council or something is that. Why are you insisting on research paper? Where is the facility to do research? What will happen? I'm asking question. In which way my research will? I think the same questions I asked 2 minutes back. In which way my research will improve the quality of my student? If that is linked, then I have no question.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
let's ask, Professor, writing
Yes,
research paper, or doing PhD, what does it give to a person? It gives more logical thinking, independent problem solving ability. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And to analyze the problem, you can analyze the problem better way. These things are taught. Yes, to that extent, that PhD or research paper writing is good. It helps you. But if that I can do without writing also, if I can tell my students how to write a good article or a good essay, nothing wrong, no. For that, publication only in journal is not required. I can
Okay,
be,
sir.
I can
Yes,
be a
sir.
good teacher.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Just now, your Rafe gave example that, see, I am a basically electronics engineer. I taught 40 years in this thing. He has also told me that I have written 32 books in Marathi literature. Does it mean that somebody can appoint me as a professor of Marathi? No.
No.
They won't apply. They will say, have you done BA in Marathi? Was Marathi subject and ME? Have you done PhD in Marathi? You are not fit. Whereas I can prove by some other way that I am much better than a professor in Marathi who doesn't know Marathi poetry or something like that. But
Yes.
that proving will not help. But that proving will not help because rules doesn't permit. But there has to be some flexibility. I will give a very good example and end my lecture there. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Which will exactly answer your question of this multidisciplinary and ability and not ability. Professor Venkat Raman,
Yes, sir.
he got Nobel Prize. He is an Indian. I think 6-7 years back, exact year I do not know, maybe 2021. No, I mean, I think 6-7 years back, he got Nobel Prize in chemistry. Do you know
Yes.
his basic degree and all education is in physics? BSc,
Okay.
MSc, PhD, everything is in physics. He got Nobel Prize in
Chemistry.
He teaches biochemistry. He does research in nanotechnology.
Okay.
See, in foreign university they allow, they permit. They permit. How you use your knowledge in different fields, that is more important.
Yes, sir.
So you can, I mean, let us this thing. Tomorrow, somebody says, somebody wanted to appoint Lata Mangeshkar as a professor of music somewhere. Can you appoint?
In foreign country, yes, not here.
Yes. Foreign countries, they will appoint. Our countries, they will give the honorary doctorate to useless people, but they will ask 100 questions to about the qualification of. When that lady is the last word in music. Last word in music.
Yes, sir.
That singer is a worldwide, all languages, so many songs, so many things. And even, the music directors have appreciated. And we are questioning, how can we appoint her as a professor?
Yes, sir. You are right.
Right. So, but there are people now, let me not disclose the thing, but there are people who are ready to break the rules and regulations. And they make a change. They make a change.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. It was a very interactive session.
This is required. This is required. And I'm very happy that generally we get arts, social science, engineering, but I'm very happy that many doctors have joined today.
So
And
there are around 30 doctors, postgraduates.
oh, very good. So yeah. we learned quite a lot and from you. And because medical education is also very important. And there are also same stories there. I know I have many friends, doctors who are doctors, and they tell, their postgraduate, how they were teaching and how things are. Now, see, when you do this autonomy, no? What is that? Body dissection. What is you don't get body anatomy, huh?
Autopsy.
Now you don't. Now you are not getting bodies, no, dead bodies.
Yes. We are not getting.
So, but there is no need, now today, because of internet and other things, the graphical thing and what you call as animation.
Simulation lab.
Simulation, animation, everything is now this thing. See, earlier, unless you open, you could not show the heart, how it is doing. Now everything can be shown on the computer. So these are the additional advantage because of technology, which must be exploited, but not at the cost of basic education, not at the cost of basic concepts, not at the cost of basic knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any other question? Yeah, please.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot.
Anybody else? Any text questions are there? Coordinator, any questions on the screen? So if there are no questions, we'll stop here. I thank the coordinators for giving me the opportunity. I think, I'm sure you must have also enjoyed the session. What I suggest, before I end, what I suggest as a simple small homework, very small homework, which you can do it in 15 minutes. Just write one point which you like the most in my lecture today. Which concept you have liked most and why you have liked it. One. And one concept which you don't agree or you have not, I should say, it doesn't suit to your mind. Right? So one point which you agree and one point disagree, and why you disagree and why you agree. Simple 1-page write-up, mail it to the coordinator. I will be happy.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Everybody must do it. Everybody must do it.
Email ID, sir. Email ID, sir.
Coordinator, not to me. You
Email
send
ID.
it to
please type
coordinator.
the email ID.
Coordinator.
I will share the mail ID. So
yeah,
coordinator will sell the mail ID. You have to send it to the coordinator. Only one page. That is the homework. Right.
Thank you, sir.
So
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So anyone participant propose the vote of thanks, please. Yes, roll number 37. Okay. Anyone participant who propose the vote of thanks? Anyone?
Yeah, Dr. Samuel. It was a very informative and knowledgeable session where sir with his vast experience could clear our doubts with some examples which were convincing as far as I am concerned. So I thanks a lot on behalf of all the delegates to sir and the organizing team.
Okay, thank you. The slides will be shared to you by coordinator.
Okay, sir. I will share the in WhatsApp group. Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Participant
Thank
one
you very much,
announcement.
sir, for
You
this
can
very
check the
informative
WhatsApp
session.
group. I am already shared the all research persons feedback links. You can fill these Google forms. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, you can fill this research person feedback form by name wise plus date wise. Okay. You can check out. That's a simple.